Fire away when ready.
How's your off season? Have you worked on certain areas you focused on, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of obviously wrapping up that part of, at least for us, training, me, AJ, and even Bob too. Just, there's a lot of technical training that goes into it, and I think now is kind of the time where you transition into, hey, like, get away from the technique, and it's about making kicks, hitting good punts, snapping good balls, and so yeah, we trained at different places. Around the country with different coaches and stuff, just fine tuning those last minute adjustments, and then now it's time to, become a gamer, I guess.
What advice did you give to your brother to the season?
I mean, hey, he's his own kicker. I mean, we're different in a lot of ways, personality wise. He looks identical to me. He's about 6'5", and probably weighs about the same. I'm probably more muscular than him though, but I mean, it's different coming from college to the NFL for sure. Obviously, I'm familiar with some of those coaches up there in Green Bay, so I'm excited for his opportunities. He's going to have to compete, especially as a rookie, prove himself in those preseason games, in camp and stuff. But so far, he's done well, so I'm excited to pull for him and cheer for him until we play him.
Daniel, I'm not asking for trade secrets, but as the rules have changed, have you guys talked? Have you guys formulated a plan? Again, not asking what the plan is, but how you're going to attack the new rules.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens and shakes out. I mean, if teams decide to start throwing up fair catches more often than not, but I mean, we're not going to make too many adjustments, I don't think, from our point of view. If they decide to throw a fair catch, there's nothing we can do about that, to a certain extent. So we're going to control what we can, just like in any other area. And if the other team decides to throw up a fair catch and a kickoff, that is what it is. But we're going to control what we can and try and dominate in the areas that we can.
It's AJ that takes the snap from the snapper, but is there any adjustment that you have to make as a kicker in terms of like pace or timing, anything like that?
I think it's just, getting used to the whole operation, with Jacob, and, I think it's just, hey, I've had thousands of reps with Trent and AJ. Now it's, hey, we need to get thousands of reps together. And so, especially during camp, we consistently get them, which is nice. And I mean, we've done that during OTAs outside of the facility on our own at, different high school fields and stuff. So, it's just getting comfortable with our operation. I mean, because a kick's got to be, by the time Jacob snaps it to the time I kick it for a field goal, it's about 1.3 seconds. So, I mean, there's not much margin for error. So, you have to get really comfortable. I'm only able to see it for, half a second before I kick it just about. So, it's just about getting thousands and thousands of reps so that we're really comfortable going into the season.
You did a lot of big kicks in your day. Anything in training camp you do to kind of get ready for the mental side and the pressure moments and all that?
Excuse me. I think, training camp's a big part of that. Preseason games are always huge for me. I really enjoy playing in them. Just getting that feel for, being in that atmosphere again, like a game day atmosphere. Because, I mean, it's a long time since we played our last game. So I think trying to get in that mindset of those pressure situations. You can try and do it in practice, but I think as you get on in your career, it's a little harder to, put yourself in that until you get into an actual game in the stadium with a crowd and stuff. But I mean, that's what's always the most fun. And so you try and put yourself in those situations. Coaches put you in that situation where, if you miss a kick, you might have to run, stuff like that later on in training camp, just to, so that once you're, just like any other position, once you actually get to the game, it's easy then, hopefully.
Along those lines, do you want to be like locked in at this point of camp, or do you want to ramp up to being mentally sharp?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think over the years, there's a balance of like, don't peak too early. I think there's, I've had points in my career where I've come into camp kicking my best, and then by the end of the season, I feel worn out almost. So I think there's a balance, and I try and, limit my off season, because the tendency is to overwork in the off season almost. And so I think we try and be careful about, hey, make sure you take a month off, completely reset, get your mind, because I think the mental strain's the hardest for me. And so then, just figuring out kind of what that timeline looks like for you to start peaking week one, and then, hopefully maintaining that or continuing at a peak all the way through. Obviously, playoffs would be the goal, to play your best ball during that time.
Daniel, how would you evaluate the way the franchise has connected with the host community since you came with the team, you've been here
Yeah.
several years, and also you have a personal connection too with your cause as well. I'm just kind of curious, how would you rate how the team is making roots here in the market?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was interesting when we showed up. Obviously, it was COVID and all that was going on, so there was it was tough. It was tough all across the city, all across the world, but especially Las Vegas being the city, the entertainment business that it is. I feel like we missed a little of that, and I think we're still trying to get better. But I mean, it's an unbelievable city. My family and I have loved living here. All the team, all the guys, all the coaches. We just love this city. We love the game day atmosphere, and we really look forward to playing here every Sunday that we get to, or Monday night, Thursday night, whatever it may be, because there's so much more to Vegas, and it is cool to have that entertainment business side that people from the outside might see, but there's so much more to living here. And like I said, my family and I, we've really grown to love it, and look forward to continuing to get connected to the community.
Growing up, was your brother always kind of following your footsteps?
I mean, or I was beating him up. It was, I had two brothers. I was the middle one, so, just like any other brothers. But we all played soccer, and yeah, once I transitioned to football, that's when he became interested, and he'd kick on the sideline at my football games and stuff. And same thing, he thought he was going to be a soccer player, and then I guess we weren't good enough and fell into football. So it worked out, but it'll be fun to see what happens with him and his career, and yeah, hopefully get to play against them week 5.
You guys compete often in the offseason?
Yeah. So yeah, I like I mentioned earlier, in the off season, the summertime, we train different places, go with different coaches, and so we do that, link up, and I went to Auburn and met up with him and kicked a few days with him as well, just to compete, learn from each other, push each other, and then now it's just cheering him on, except when we're playing him.
Was Jacob prepared for what he was walking into in this special teams room?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously we were familiar playing against him for a few years.
I mean, like the conversations more than
The personality, I mean, I don't know how you could prepare for AJ, but yeah, I mean, he's it's been fun getting to know him, and obviously camps now, like we spend 12 plus hours a day with each other, so it's you get to know someone really quick. So I think he's getting a good feel for what me and AJ are like.
Yeah, speaking of soccer, I caught the tail end of a drill where maybe the coaches were kicking a soccer ball and guys were trying to block it. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, just a block drill. Soccer ball's a little less likely to break a finger or something, I think, is what we're using that for. So, yeah.
Great, thanks.
Anything else? Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.